Is there like a close question of fact that the protests are alleging, he's actually innocent because it seemed just from the way it was reported, with no diligence coming into it, it seemed pretty open and shut murder. Are these protests? Are they alleging that there's some sort of mistrial and bias, or are they just pro murder?
They're
saying,
pro-murder.
Yeah, they're saying that it's generally the people that are protesting are racially motivated, and you hear a lot of things like, well, we have to stick together, and
and it's an us versus them.
Yeah, and it's not just for him to have gotten 35 years, that it should have been less because it was only his first offense. I mean, it's a murder.
It's only his first murder.
I think the issue is this: these people that you see outside and the protesters on the Carmelo Anthony side are almost exclusively black, have no idea what's happening in the world. And so the first problem is that when they're asked questions, they say things that are wildly just not aligned with reality. However, Savannah Hernandez has that viral video where she asks the black woman, if the evidence shows that this is murder, would you stand by conviction? And she says, no, we're going to stand with our own. They stand with theirs, we stand with ours.
Prison rules.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's racial tribal rules, So we found there's some great studies that have been going viral, and Matt Walsh has covered this extensively, and he does a fantastic job of this. On juries, the only racial group that is neutral in terms of guilty or not guilty pleas by race is white people. So Asians, they tend to say Asians are not guilty. When it comes down to it, and black people especially. In fact, black people are more likely to say a white person is guilty and a black person is not guilty, not just that black people are not guilty. So there's a clear racial preference, but the worrying thing about it is they like to do this meme. There's a clip in Reacher where Tom Cruise is trying to hide from the police. So he goes to a bus station, and he's very clearly evading cops that are driving down the street. So a black guy takes his hat off and hands it to him, and another black guy steps in front of him, and Tom Cruise puts the hat on and looks down. And, people are posting online being like, oh, look at that. The brothers are protecting him from the cops because they know what's up. It's actually not true. The data shows that there's a slight percentage increase that black people on a jury, when seeing a white person accused of a crime, are slightly more likely to say he's guilty than someone who, than a white person would of a white person, or even a Latino or Asian person would of a white person.
I'd be curious to see like a longitudinal study on something like that, because that was something that I just remember. I think I was in middle school when the O.J. Simpson trial thing happened.